a wrap. 2020 corn harvest. I'm now filling up my auger wagon. I'm gonna go join the bean crew. Help speed them up a little bit. Hopefully we can get them, I think, what is today? Today's Thursday. Still don't know who won the election on Tuesday. I'm hoping that next chance of rain's next Tuesday, so hopefully we'll have all the beans done by then. That's the goal. Stay tuned to find out, see if we make it. Got hired on the bean crew, so that's good. Follow them around, hopefully speed them up a little bit, help them out. Many hands make light work. Cutting her up good and fine, ain't it? Yeah, looking good. Beautiful day. It is nice. Sun's out, guns out. Up and on the go with George. Bean crew. Hopefully get done, I don't know, this weekend, maybe Monday. David, right over there. We are back. We're on the farthest south that we farm right now. It's right across the river from Mount Carmel, Illinois. Right down in the deep throat of the neck. Right where the rivers meet. The White and the Wabash rivers meet. These bean guys are just so dirty. There's a combine in there, I promise. I like Pigpen off Charlie Brown walking around. Advantage that new Holland is it's got a longer auger, so I don't have to get as close to them. With David here, I get pretty close to that head dump on the go. A little more difficult. Barely see him back there, cloud of dust. As you can see, I've been booted out of the grain cart. Eli came to take my place. We got trucks running from here to Newburgh out of the field, and some just run up to the bins, mix them in because we can't hold it all here, which is a good problem, but it's it takes over an hour to get there. So Eli came over to take my place so I could be one more truck driver. And back in the tag mobile, hauling up to the bins, me and Travis, while Dad and Garrett are hauling down to Newburgh. Saturday, trucking to town down to Newburgh, Indiana. A little over an hour to get here. Trying to get some beans moved. They close at 12. It's 10:30, so this is my second load of the day down here. Made that easy. Rolling up here to get probed. No line. There was a line this morning, not right now. There's 2 tires on this truck. We got to air up every morning. Stop by Best One. They also close at noon. Should make it easy now. Then maybe even stop by the Blue Beacon to at least get this thing halfway clean, and I'll clean it better later. But who knows? Maybe work some ground. Maybe a little inline ripping later today. See what happens. Eli's in the auger wagon, so frees me up to do other stuff. Tires are fixed. Got a couple nails in them. Now the Blue Beacon, get this thing washed off a little bit. Waiting in line, not too long of a line, so that's good. What is today?
Last day of bean harvest.
Last day of bean harvest.
Oh, what we'll do then? Just sit around.
Yeah, that's what some people think. Last day of bean harvest. Got both red ones going. David's over there cutting on the other side of the irrigation. Morse is coming right up here. Had a little mishap in New Holland. Not a big deal. But since we had extra combine, since we're done with the done with corn, we just grabbed one of the red ones. It is dusty out here, that's for sure. can see it. It's around there somewhere. There it is.
Well, we are in the last field in Indiana. About to get bean harvest complete. Got, I don't know, half a load or less to do in Illinois that just wasn't right. That's in a couple of fields, and they're close together, so that's a good thing. We can dump in one spot. I don't even know if we'll have a hopper full. They were very low ground. I'm sure they're not very good, and there's not much of it. So majority of the harvest, close enough at least to say, we will be done shortly. And this is November the 9th, so it's time to be done. We have our test here. This is Pioneer P42A96X. And right here it's making 93, 94. We've got some Hasbro here. And I'll tell you the number when I get in because I don't remember right now. Here we go, we're in it enough to tell you. It's an AG4138. Hey, oh, not nearly as good. We're making 71 right here. So, I don't know, it just wasn't their year, I guess. They were just not as good. Either way, we won't do that again. It's just too costly. Get up around 20 bushel an acre, $10 beans, a lot of difference. The other thing I talked about briefly last time I talked to you, I think, was the air reel I had on the front of this. And I wound up taking it off mainly because this year our beans are really good. They're standing good. And those teeth that blew the air, pipes, struck through the beans and they would shell out a few. So we actually was running two side by side, two McDonald heads, and we would measure off 3 foot square and count the beans. We were losing more with the pipes striking through the beans than we were without the air reel on at all. And this was before the combine ran over right at the back of the head. So we took that off. Now, if your beans aren't very good, or they're really short, or they're double crops with a lot of trash, I think that thing would be great. But this year, for what we got, it was not. I don't want to badmouth it. It certainly had its place. We still got it. I don't know if we'll ever put it back on, but we may. You never know. It's just sitting there. demonstrator high-speed disc. In fact, it's here. I just got to get a couple people loose to use it beside the John Deere high-speed. See which one turns out the best. I'm sure there'll be some of that on here for you to see. That's always interesting. The different companies make things, and I've been in a New Holland combine up until a couple days ago, and I did a boo-boo, so I took the head off and put it on the International. And there's a lot of similarities. But the handle here has got reel height back and forth, header height, ain't tip, and there's a button on the back to push with the reel, and that tips the whole end. And those controls are just swapped places, and up and down is completely opposite. And when they can't get together, I got out of that one, got into this one, and I'm shoving the head down and I want to go up. It just takes a little bit of fine tuning to get used to it. So I'm working on that now. As far as which machine is the best, there is good and bad in both of them. The New Holland has a button for throttle, up or down. I don't like that at all. I want a lever or something like a control with all speeds in between wide open and idle. If I'm going around the lot in the combine or I'm running the truck to dump, I don't need to be wide open. But I don't want to be idle either. Next thing I didn't like about the New Holland was the height of span handle. This, you push it forward, you go forward, farther forward, you go faster. That ain't the way it works with the New Holland. You let go of that handle, it returns to neutral. You gotta push it back further forward to go faster, and you pull it back to slow down. And when you go through neutral, you have to push a button on the back to get it out of neutral. So, I wasn't fond of that. The third thing I did not like was the mechanical clutch on the left-hand side. Clicks the hand in. It's the old magnetic clutch like a lot of companies use. Deere had it. I don't know if they still got it. Haven't ran a Deere in a while. That thing would rattle and bang and swear it was coming out of there. They said, no, it's fine. That's the way they are. And they were right. It never did come out. That probably is just the way they are. I don't like that. I want something that makes noise like that. I think it needs fixed. So those were the big things I didn't like. I did like the cruise control on it. Set a speed, push a button, push that button and go back to that speed. Setting this handle is a lot of problem, but to get it exactly the same, you gotta kind of feel it a little. So I like that cruise control on it. The International, the auger, when you push the button, it'll go back. When you push it the other way, it'll go out for the unload. The New Holland, you have to either hold it or have the separator in gear. It'll go all the way out and shut off at the separator's in gear. If you're running across the field empty to the truck, you have to hold that button or it's not going out. There's other things I like about the New Holland. The header reversal. I like that a whole lot better on the New Holland. Both headers reverse, but on the New Holland, it also reverses the reel. So if you've got a header full of beans, and you need to get all that out of there to see what's going on, with the International, you got to raise the reel up and pull it out by hand. With the New Holland, you leave the reel down, back it up, and spits it all right out on the ground. That's probably the best thing about it. I really like that. The bad thing is, I guess, the rotors on the New Holland wouldn't reverse. They do on the International. The rotor will reverse too. Of course, it's a single rotor. New Holland's too. New Holland did do a good job cleaning the beans. I don't know if it's that much better to be worth the hydrostatic, the rattling, and the throttle. You know, just old school on it. Started when the throttle was up here in the steering column. I still like a lever to move. Got that over here on the International. Just a little short thing, but it goes up and down the street. You get used to things, it's just a little hard to get used to the other. I ran the new Holland for 2 years, and they told me, you get used to that hydrostat and you'll like it better. I never did get used to it, and I still don't like it. But somebody thought they had a better idea. I'm sure a lot of people love it. Give you all a look at what unloading on the go looks like from this side. We're still cutting, as you can see. Auger wagon's right beside us. We're just dumping it going. Now that may not seem like too big a deal if you're not familiar with it. But it takes several minutes to run to the truck, wherever it may be, and dump this load and get back to cutting. If you can stop that time, you can spend that time harvesting. And we're running two machines with this auger wagon. It's just about like running 3 without. It makes a lot of difference. Especially, see, we got very long throughs. It's I don't know, close to half from one end to the other. Time you run that far, we would not be able to cut around, it'd be full. So the time you run that far and dump, it's going to amount to quite a bit of time. So this saves lots of time spent harvesting. And it gives Eli up there something to do. Not that Eli doesn't have anything to do. All right. We got that unloaded and he is on the way to the truck.
Up soybean harvest in Indiana, so we are basically done with all harvest now. It's Monday the 9th of November. Glad to be done, I guess, pretty much. I guess we're not technically done. There's maybe 20 acres of some big wet beans we had to leave about 3-4 weeks ago over around home that my dad will go get a combine home in the morning, get them cut, and technically we'll be all done. But anyway, we're done enough now. If something happens, rains, we don't get to them, we don't get to them, but I think we'll get to them. Yeah, glad to be done. I need to get a haircut, at least that's what I've been told. So I probably need a haircut and maybe a shave, I don't know. Okay, yeah. Oh, been a good harvest for the most part. Definitely good crop. Good crop. I don't know. All right. Well, now we'll go to work ground.
It's been a good fall. We had a couple weeks there of rainy weather. Got our bean harvest behind. Slowed the corn down some. Not as much as us, because we have to wait for the beans to dry out. But other than that, it's been pretty dry fall, and well, very dry fall until then. And it's pretty good shape now. Should be able to do some field work. In fact, we're going to try those discs tomorrow. I hope it's dry enough for that, if it don't rain. There is some rain in the forecast, mostly all night. Hopefully we'll get a little more done before then. Won't be too bad, you know, a decent hour at night. Sit and relax a little bit. That's always nice. But harvest is not a bad time either. I enjoy what I do over the weekend.